All right, so for the first example, we are going to solve for the W. So note that we are going to apply the same concept when we did the equation. So the W, the variable that I want, is on the left side. Okay, so it's on the left side. So you are going to pay attention on the left side. So right now, what I'm going to do is uh, just cover your variable there. Pay attention to your left side. Okay, so on the left side, I need my W. So I have to undo my 2L. So if you're going to cover this, because you want your W, okay, to stay there. So I need to remove my 2W. Now, what is the sign of your 2W? Is it plus or minus? It's a minus. It's a plus or minus. That's plus sign. So how do I undo my 2L? Okay. Now be careful. Okay. The sign of 2L is not in front of your L. It should be to the left of your 2L. If you don't see any sign, it means it's positive. Okay. So don't be confused with that. The sign of 2L is not in front of 2L. It should be before 2L. Okay. So that's positive. So we have to undo that. So minus 2L. But remember, we always have to do it both sides. Okay, we call that one subtraction property of equation. All right, so now what's going to happen to my 2L minus 2L? It's just 0, okay? But on the right side, this is the only difference. On the right side, we cannot combine them because they are not like terms. So all we need to do is just rewrite this as P minus 2L. Before, these are just numbers that you can combine, that you can subtract. Right now, they are two different variables. They are not like terms, so I can just write this as P minus 2L. Okay? And then, of course, I'm solving for my W, so I'm going to bring down my 2W. All right? Now, again, the variable is on the left side. You pay attention on the left side. You have to identify the operation between 2 and W. So what is the operation right now? It's a multiplication. It's not division yet. It's a multiplication. Now you have to figure out how to undo that multiplication. All right. So the opposite of multiplication is, all right. So that's why we are dividing both sides by 2. When you say both sides, everything on this side and everything on this side. That's why both sides. You cannot just pick and choose which one to divide. It should be everything on the right side. All right. So we are dividing to cancel your coefficient. Now in this case, you may want to check if you can simplify this further. Let's say how to check. I can separate my numerator and just divide by 2. Can I? Is there something that we can do to simplify P over 2? None. Okay, unless you have, let's say you have a 4 here. Let's say you have 4 here. Okay, just an example, not part of the problem. If this is 4, then yes, you can simplify 4p divided by 2, which is 2p. Okay, so that's what we're saying, we can simplify further. But in this case, I cannot simplify anymore because that's just p. What about your negative 2l divided by 2? Can I simplify this portion over here? Can I simplify this negative 2l divided by 2? I can simplify the negative 2 divided by 2, which is negative 1l. Okay, but it just so happened that I can't simplify this. Okay, since one of the terms cannot be simplified, then you just have to go back here and say that this will be our final answer. Okay. For the second problem, we are solving for, wait, what are we solving here? X. No, sorry, this is the question. This is the question. Okay, so I need my X. Where's the variable, left or right? The one that I want, the variable that I want, left or right? Left side. So pay attention to the left side, okay? So you pay attention to the left side. I want my negative 2x, right? I want my x, so cover that one. What's left after covering your negative 2x? What's left over here? That's positive 8y. Remember, I asked you to pay attention to the left side because that's where the variable is. Once you cover the one that we need, it will expose the one that you don't need. okay, which is 8y. So how do we undo the plus 8y? We are going to subtract both sides. Okay. If you notice on the right side, there's a variable and there's a number. If there's a variable and then a number, I would suggest that you start writing with variable first. Okay, negative 8y minus 16. Now some of you, I know some of you did it this way, negative 16 minus 8y, that's fine. But get used to it. If there's a variable in here and a number, you start writing the one that has a variable first. All right, next, I will now bring down my negative 2x. So I'm imitating what we have on the on that side, okay? Let me just move this one a little bit. Okay, so I'll just write my negative 2x here. All right, so I need my x, and that's a multiplication. So how do I undo my negative 2 in there, knowing that it is a multiplication? That's a multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication? Go ahead. Okay, now the question is, what should I divide? Negative 2 or positive 2? Go ahead. Negative 2. Okay? So divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. If this is your work, that's fine. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. Okay? And then we check. Let's see if we can simplify further. Okay? This is x. How do I check? We just separate your numerator and divide by the same denominator, right? Now, can I simplify negative 8 divided by 2? What is negative 8 divided by 2? Negative 4y. What is negative 16 minus 2? That's positive 8. Question? My fault. So if you're divided by negative and negative, you're going to get what? Positive. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Now, if this is your work, then it looks like this. X equals negative 16 over negative 2 minus 8y over negative 2. Again, you are going to get 8 here. This is positive 4y. Are they the same? Are they the same? 4y plus 8 and 8 plus 4y? They are the same. Okay. But I would prefer writing your answer in this manner. Okay, because when you take the SOL test, the option will be in this format, not on this format. Okay, although they're both the same, they're both correct, you might not be able to see this as an option in there. Now, if it is a multiple response, then you can choose both of them. Okay. Okay, so again, I need my y. So pay attention on the left side. Okay. You are going to cover this. So now it will show you the term that you don't need. So I don't need my 10x. So how do I get rid of my 10x? So that's positive 10x. So we are going to subtract 10x, right? So both sides. We have to do it both sides. Again, if you're just wondering, I just made this one up, okay, so that you can see the difference. All right. So this will cancel out. I will have negative 4y equals to negative 10x minus 20. Okay. In this case, I will have negative 4y equals negative 10x minus 21. So I need to get rid of my negative 4. So how do we undo our negative 4 here? Can I just add 4 both sides? Okay, divide by negative 4. So I will divide by negative 4 here, and I will divide by negative 4 here. Same concept here, divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. All right, so now this will cancel out. Y equals, okay? So now I'm going to try to simplify this further. How? I will separate my numerator, divide by your denominator, okay? Same thing here. I'll try to simplify this. Okay, question. Can I simplify negative 10 over negative 4? Yes, we can divide both top and bottom by 2. By 2, yes, by negative 2 actually. Okay, so I can have now that's a positive 5 over positive 2. So when you say simplify, it doesn't mean that you have to divide it evenly. Simplify means if you have negative 10 over 4, that's the same thing as 5 over 2. So you have to simplify it. Can I simplify negative 20 over negative 4? That's equal to 5. Okay, so in this case, the answer should be y equals 5 over 2x plus 5. Okay, so that will be the answer. All right, now let's have this problem on the right side. So I will have y. We said that negative 10 over negative 4 can be simplified as 5 over 2x. Now this negative 21 over negative 4 cannot be divided, right? In some cases, we can just say, okay, I'm done here, because I can't simplify negative 21 over negative 4. So we just have to go back and say, okay, this will be my final answer. Okay. Now, if in case they will give you a positive 21 over 4 as one of the options, instead of going here and saying this is the answer, you're going to say that this will be the final answer. There's some cases in the SQL test wherein they will give you this as the option. Okay, because why? Because we can simplify this. We just have to go back and say, okay, this is my final answer. There's some cases wherein they'll continue and just simplify this and just leave this one as is, as 21 over 4. All right. But in most cases, this will be the answer. Okay, I'm just giving you the reality, but in most cases, this will be the answer. You have to move on and keep solving, even though this one is not simplified. Okay, last resort, this is not given, then you have to go back here. Okay, so that will be the basics of our literal equation.